The British spin doctor and PR agent, Lord Tim Bell, who co-founded the controversial British public relations company Bell Pottinger, has died. Bell Pottinger collapsed into administration in 2017 amid a scandal over a racially charged PR campaign here in South Africa involving the Gupta family. Bell was famous in the UK for his role in managing the advertising campaigns that saw then Conservative Party leader Margaret Thatcher winning 3 elections in a row in the 1980s. Our correspondent in London is Hudson. Holly, good evening to you there. Here, Tim Bell is someone derided for his work in the PR agency for that campaign he did with the Guptas. How's he being remembered in the UK?
Yes, he was a very controversial figure, but a very leading figure here in the UK PR industry. He died on Sunday at his home following a short battle with a neurological disorder, surrounded by his family. And Piers Pottinger, his close friend and business partner with whom he set up, co-founded the company Bell Pottinger, which became one of the most powerful and influential PR companies around the world. He was the one to announce Tim Bell's death and to also pay tribute. He led tributes to him as a pioneer, and that's generally been the sense of tributes here in the UK, that he was very pivotal in the way that he sort of reshaped PR here in Britain, in particular in relation to British politics. You mentioned there he was best known, or first became known as Margaret Thatcher's spin doctor, and was very influential and instrumental in her first election victory back in 1979, as he used commercial advertising in British politics for the first time when he employed a campaign poster showing people queuing around the block at a dole office here in the UK with the slogan "Labour isn't working," and many people really credit that as being put towards Margaret Thatcher's first victory in 1979. So a lot of people paying tribute to him, including politicians here in the UK, for the way that he really did reshape British politics and PR.
That campaign that he and his agency undertook for the Gupta family here in South Africa, it saw Twitter accounts being created to sow racial division. It saw the Black First, Land First leader Andile Mngxitama, it seems, being paid or certainly taking direction from Bell Pottinger about what to write. What impact did that have on the firm? In the end, it was closed.
In the end, yes, 2 years ago, 2 years after Lord Tim Bell's death, 2 years, previous to Lord Tim Bell's death, the firm that he co-founded, Bell Pottinger, actually collapsed into administration amidst this scandal. And it was a huge scandal that completely enveloped the company and forced it into administration. Now, it was a campaign that Tim Bell always tried to deny that he was involved in, and his involvement in it is still pretty unclear. But it was a campaign that was run, as you said, for Oak Bay, a company owned by the Guptas, Indian-born tycoons who were said to have close ties with the then President Jacob Zuma. Now, it led to the South African opposition party, the DA here, protests outside of their office just round the corner, actually, from me here in Holborn in central London, and its eventual close because after an inquiry found that it was would have actually inflamed racial tensions in South Africa because of the emphasis that it put on white-powered businesses.
And then in the UK, I mean, he's seen as changing the face of public relations. Public relations before him and public relations after him in Britain were 2 very different industries.
They really were, and as I said, he was a leading but very controversial figure, often denounced for his client list, which included pretty much everybody from celebrities to oligarchs to governments to dictators such as Pinochet, the Syrian First Lady, and Oscar Pistorius after he was charged with murder. But he always said that everybody had a right to representation, and he would always take on a client if he thought they were going to make amends, and then if they proved that they wouldn't, then that's when he would sort of shut the door. So a very controversial and influential figure in the way that he viewed PR, in the way that he took on clients who he represented. He got a reputation for taking risks in many ways. But of course, that campaign that he ran for Oak Bay, Tim Bell had actually left the company just a year before that happened, but his involvement was unclear, and that definitely led to a cloud being cast over the end of his career.
Holly Hudson, thank you very much indeed. Our correspondent in London with the latest on that story as Tim Bell passing away in the UK yesterday.